Hello everyone and welcome to the weekly show where I share some of the most interesting news in gaming. Today we'll go over the newly announced major update coming to No Man's Sky, including its release on Xbox, updates coming to Sea of Thieves, and the return of Overwatch's PvE event, Uprising. This is GameByte. Let's start things off with No Man's Sky. The game was released a couple years ago and was quickly panned by critics and players alike, as it became all too apparent that the game wasn't exactly what Hello Games had promised it would be, missing crucial features that they had even confirmed to be in the game, like playing with your friends, or even running into any other players whatsoever. You know, basic things you would expect to see in an online-based sandbox game. Well, of course, we all know the public debacle that ensued thereafter. I won't bore you with the details of that, but since then the game has been receiving regular updates from the developers, including massive content injections like last year's Atlas Rises update, which added land rovers and the ability to build your own base. The game now seems to have a fairly dedicated core player base, which is good considering that they have been working hard on yet another major expansion to the game. Titled No Man's Sky Next, it's shaping up to be the largest update to the game according to Hello Games lead Sean Murray. He states, "We call this update Next because it's an important next step on a longer journey for us and the community. I have to say I have to give it to the team for sticking with the game and continuing its development. I think it shows real dedication to the craft and their passion for what they're working on." Now, unfortunately, details of the new expansion have yet to be revealed, other than it will be, of course, free to owners of the game like all the other updates have been, but whatever it ends up being, it looks like it might just be important enough for them to warrant releasing the game on Xbox. Slated for a summer release alongside the major update, No Man's Sky on Xbox will feature all of the content released up until now, including the Atlas Rises expansion, and of course the next update as well. The update will thankfully feature full Xbox One X support on day one, supporting 4K resolution and of course HDR gaming. I have to say the announcements have definitely piqued my curiosity, and I'll be interested to see what the update holds in store. I got the digital version of the game on PS4, and I might just have to jump back in and check it out when it lands this summer. Anyways, moving on, let's move to a game that everyone is playing, and that is of course Sea of Thieves. A lot of people love it, including me, but questions have been starting to arise as to the game's depth and longevity. I personally think the game will maintain a pretty strong player base, as pirate shenanigans are always a good time, but for those less confident, it might please you to know that the game has a very dedicated development team and that Rare does plan on supporting and growing the game for years to come. We already know of a pet system being added to the game, hopefully pretty soon. You may have noticed the absence of your dedicated shoulder-mounted parrot to complete your pirate look, but of course that is an example of a major feature that Rare is currently working on to add into the game. It will be wrapped around a microtransaction system, but honestly I'm okay with that as long as I can try to find my own pets out in the wild without having to spend money. Also, if that wasn't enough, we know that the ability to name your ship will be arriving very soon. We've seen pictures of what this might look like in the Art of Sea of Thieves book, showcasing a customizable crest that will appear above your captain's quarters featuring the name of your ship. Hopefully that and much more will be debuting very soon, but for now they've been hard at work fixing a series of scaling issues that players have been encountering since launch. In a series of developer update videos, they've been outlining the challenges that they're facing, with some issues requiring client-side fixes as in through a game patch, and others are simply server-side issues that will be fixed and you'll see the results in real time. An example of these server-side fixes was the Xbox achievement notification system that they had to put a pause on, so now you might be noticing a slew of your notifications coming through for those achievements. So it seems like they're ironing out a lot of those issues very quickly. I personally have been having a blast playing the game. If you want to see me and the Nerd On crew engage in some pirate shenanigans, be sure to subscribe to the Nerd On channel as we have lots of Sea of Thieves content coming up very soon. Moving on to the story of the week, we finally have some news about the Uprising event planned for Overwatch. Of course, Uprising debuted last year as a limited time PvE event. It took you back to the days of the Omnic Crisis, where you teamed up with 3 other players and took on waves of Omnic robots. I have to say the event was a really cool way to learn more about the characters, and we got a good amount of universe building as well. As far as the Overwatch event itself, it of course featured new skins, voice lines, and other cosmetics, things you can typically expect from an Overwatch limited time event. And with April approaching, a lot of us wondered whether or not Uprising would be coming back, and now we have official confirmation that the event will be making its return in April, and we have a couple of teases to tell us a little bit more about what we can expect. First up, we have a screen showing the mission information from last year, except this time things are a little different. The information seems to glitch out at a certain point, featuring a new classified mission number and even the Blackwatch logo in the background. A lot of people are speculating that this is a new mission being added this time around in addition to the old one, perhaps featuring members of Blackwatch, including Reaper, Moira, Genji, and McCree, so the new mission might feature those characters. The next tease was dropped just hours ago as of the recording of this video. However, it does feature very similar content as we saw last year. We don't even really see any new skins or anything of that nature. But of course, in typical Blizzard fashion, the teases for the event are likely far from over. I doubt that they would just have the event feature the same content. Uprising is probably one of the more important events in the game, so there's a good chance that the event will feature a second mission, and we can probably expect to learn more about it very soon. Anyways, that wraps up the gaming news I have for you this week. Are you excited for Overwatch's Uprising event? Is there anything that can get you back into No Man's Sky? Or are you busy just sailing the insanely beautiful waters of Sea of Thieves? Let's discuss. Drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe for much more gaming content coming very soon. As always, thanks for watching, happy gaming, and I will see you all next time.